Everyone, Andrea Piper here with Great Expectations Realty, and it is Monday night, which means it's time for What's Up Ocala. We had some crazy weather on Friday, like 3 o'clock in the morning. Absolute mayhem. Like all of a sudden it was just like whack. They swear up and down it wasn't a tornado, it was just some really crazy strong weather, like thunderstorms, like really severe thunderstorms. And it just kind of was all over Marion County. So we had a whole bunch of power outages, and all the people that did not listen to me about getting the trees away from their houses had some issues. So for all of those that listen, good job. No, I mean, we have some serious issues with trees like really close to houses. And I normally warn any of my buyers, especially if they have a house with a big old tree or several trees really close to the house. That is not a good plan. That is a bad plan, especially if you have a water oak. What is a water oak? Well, here in Ocala, we have a whole slew of trees that look like they're these big, beautiful oak trees. They look like they're 200 years old, and they have all the sphagnum moss, and it looks kind of very much like maybe Savannah or Georgia or whatever. But the problem is some of those are not actually live oak trees. They're water oaks, and water oaks are hollow on the inside, and they fill up with water when they've got and the tree branches get a whole bunch of just saturated with water, and they lose limbs fairly easily with a large chunk of water, and also they topple. And depending on which way the wind blows, it could topple on a roof, which is definitely not a good plan. It's not fun. So, again, a lot of roof damage from tree branches and trees. If you have, please, if you have large trees or tree branches over your house or anywhere close enough where it can actually hit your house, call a tree guy, probably busy right now, but as soon as they're not busy anymore from cutting up trees, call a tree guy and ask them to limb it up. And that basically means that you're going to cut away those dangerous branches that are overhanging the house, cutting them back just enough so that the tree is still healthy, but that you're not going to possibly suffer from a tree branch falling on your roof or your fence or whatever. We want to make sure, or your car. So, definitely want to make sure that it's nice and safe and you can weather any storm. We don't really get a lot of hurricane force winds here in Ocala. We're right central of the state, but we can still have those really severe thunderstorms, and we definitely can have tornadoes as well. So, again, tornadoes even are pretty rare, but it can happen. We had a lot of really, really super cool weather for a long period of time this year. We were into May and it was still really nice out, and I'm like, this is weird. Normally that's done by like March. So when you have kind of odd weather where it's extreme heat or extreme cold, that's going to have some extreme weather as well. And we are definitely seeing that already. So just a heads up to you guys out there, expect some crazy weather this year, because we had some extreme cool weather and now we're having some extreme hot weather, and it's just everything coincides. So, just make sure, and as soon as you can, go ahead and limb up those trees. As beautiful as they are, if it's a water oak, you might consider just going ahead and taking it down. I know it's expensive because it's huge, but it's much, much less expensive to take care of it while it's still in the yard and face up than it is on top of your house and landing there. So just a heads up on that one. There's a lot of insurance issues that we're facing. A lot of agents are like, oh, what is with the insurance lately? Well, there were a whole slew of people that went out and said, oh, there was a really bad storm and my 20-year-old roof now needs to be replaced, and it's on the insurance company to go ahead and do that. And then they had attorneys that would actually sue if it wasn't taken care of. I know a lot of people have bragged about this in recent years. They're like, oh yeah, my insurance company took care of it. Okay, cause, effect. When you have a bunch of claims on old roofs, like a bunch, like thousands, where it's roofs that needed to be replaced and they just went ahead and replaced them because, you know, that's what the policy said. Now we're having a bunch of insurance companies either going out of business or they are refusing to put coverage on any house. They absolutely will not cover a house unless it's a new roof. Yeah, so, and new roof could be, you know, 5 years old. I mean, we're not talking like 15 even. If it's a 15-year-old roof, just expect you're going to have to replace it if you want insurance. They're being extremely picky when you already have coverage even of, you know, water heaters, electrical panels, anything and everything that may be an issue. They're just very proactive about it right now. And unfortunately, there's been so many fraudulent claims that I can't really blame them. I know it's a major headache for you. Trust me, it is a major headache right now. A lot of sellers are having to put new roofs on houses, even though there's nothing leaking, there's nothing damaged, but just because it's an older roof in order to be able to sell that house. So kind of an issue going on right now. So heads up on that. So make sure you have your insurance policy nice and strong right now. Make sure there's no issues or quirks because they are canceling a lot of policies now that we're in hurricane season. Heads up on that one. If you're living in Florida, you already know this to be the case. Again, we don't really get hurricane force winds here in Marion County. I think maybe once in the last, I don't know, up to years, we've had, you know, hurricane force winds here. But even then, it's pretty much died down by the time it makes it this far inland. But that doesn't mean that we don't get strong storms. The same as anywhere else in the world. You can definitely get strong storms anywhere. So thankfully our houses are built pretty good here. You know, even with, you know, damage from a roof or something like that, they're concrete block houses normally. So they withstand pretty well, but at the same time, that's just a lot of traumas you don't really want to have to go through. And, you know, going through the insurance companies and stuff right now, again, is kind of difficult. So just a heads up, if you want to save yourself a lot of problems, just go ahead and be prepared to take care of that roof, because you know once it gets to be about 15, 20 plus years old, you're going to need to replace it. So go ahead and just prep for that. If you are selling your house, there's actually certain things that you can do where you wanted to get the roof replaced, you just don't have the money to replace the roof. You can actually have it in the contract that at closing, it'll come from the funds at closing. So, you know, and then the buyer has like 30 days or whatever to go ahead and get that done. And the money stays in escrow with the title company, and then it just pays right to the roofer. So it's kind of interesting how you can do that. We are definitely doing a lot of that lately. You know, we actually don't see anything out of that. It's just basically just trying to get, you know, the buyer what they need, the seller what they need, the insurance company happy, because if you don't have insurance, you can't get a mortgage. It's just a whole fiasco. So just a heads up. And if you do have, again, a large tree overhanging your house, I want you to go out in your yard. Just pause this. It's okay. I'll still be here when you get back. Go out into your yard, take a look at those trees and see if there are some that need to be limbed up, or if you need to even cut them down. It's way better to just go ahead and be proactive about it, because we did see a lot of damage around town. And honestly, this could be anywhere. You know, fallen trees are definitely something that can cause a lot of damage. So especially the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So, but we had a lot of electrical outages, again, down trees, down power lines and so forth. So damaged poles, stuff like that. There wasn't anything as far as, you know, just a lot of commercial buildings. It was mostly residential, because again, those trees coming down. I did see a roof collapse at a restaurant, Popeye's Chicken over on Pine, which is definitely an older building. Yeah, the roof collapsed from whatever the storm damage. So that was kind of crazy. Hopefully nobody was hurt. I don't know if anybody was, but hopefully nobody was. So it was a lot of power outages, definitely some internet loss. So I know my daughter got an email today, and I guess it was from the other day, but there was an email from one of her teachers, her online teacher. She takes, you know, summer classes during the summer. We don't do summers off, sorry. I know that's like touchy for some people. We've never done summers off. We're like, yeah, it's a whole bunch of time for you to forget everything you just learned. Well, it's not. Anyway, but yeah, so she heard from her summer teacher, and she was just saying, you know, I'm so sorry if you're wanting your stuff graded or whatever, but I have absolutely no internet. And we just got the message today. So I was like, yeah, you really had no internet. So it's just kind of put a little bit of a problem with everybody. But so far as I know, I didn't hear anybody getting hurt. It just freaked out a few people, especially those new to Florida. They're like, that's some crazy lightning. Wow. But yeah, it was pretty wild. I think I wasn't even home. I was over at the office and I was looking at it kind of coming down sideways, but mostly I was watching other people on like TikTok and YouTube and stuff. They were like, whoa, look at this storm. So yeah, some craziness. As far as I know, nobody was hurt. So that's definitely helpful. And that's pretty amazing considering, again, how many trees came down. So a lot of trees, a lot of limbs of trees came down. So, but yeah, it is that time of year. It's, what is it called? Tsunami? No, not tsunami. That's something totally different. I think we need ocean for that. See, now everybody's going to have to put in the comments what in the world. Monsoon. It's monsoon season. That's what it is. It's when we get so much rain. I mean, so much rain. Every afternoon it rains really heavy. It is bright blue skies, absolutely gorgeous, hot as all get out outside. And then all of a sudden it's a torrential downpour, lightning, thunder, skies are just black. And then 15 minutes, 20 minutes later, it's blue skies again. And you're like, what just happened? Like, it's weird. So yeah, that's this season right now. The rest of the year, we don't actually get that much rain. It's mostly just in the summertime. We just really, at least once a day, we're getting this weird torrential downpour where hopefully you don't get stuck in it because you are going to get soaked. It is wet, like big, like buckets. It rains buckets, but only for about 15-20 minutes and then you're good to go. You get used to it. Somebody was like, oh, why don't you carry a umbrella around and stuff? That ain't gonna help you. It comes sideways, it comes up. It is a lot of water all at once. It's just whoosh. So yeah, if you've ever seen those roller coaster rides, the water rides, like the flumes over at like Disney or whatever, up in Cedar Point in Ohio, if you've ever gone to, they have like this bridge that goes over top of where the ride comes down. And if you stand on the bridge, like you're just standing there and all of a sudden it's just this wall of water hits you that it's gone and you're like, wow. Yeah, that is what it's like. It's just all of a sudden this wall of water just completely soaks you down to your toes and then it's gone. You're like, what just happened? Okay, that's Florida storms. That's basically it. It's the flume ride effect while you're on the bridge. I don't know. If you've not done it, you probably are like, what is she talking about now? But yeah, that's what it is. All right. Let's talk about real estate, shall we? Because you want to talk about a wild ride. This is the market watch for the last 7 days. Okay, so of course, we've got the interest rates going up. We're seeing 7%. 7%. So I said I was going to get the double digits, but this is a lot faster than I thought. So, all right, hang on tight. So we're getting into 7% interest rates. And we're actually seeing, of course, because the interest rates are going up, the buyers aren't able to buy houses for as much. Their spending is not able to be up there. So like if they were pre-approved for, let's say they were pre-approved for $300,000, interest rate goes up, their monthly payment goes up, their expenses go up, their debt to income ratio hasn't changed, but it does play into effect with that. So that means the bank can only qualify them for maybe $250,000. It's a big sizable jump. 300,000 down to 250. Yeah, it's painful. So a lot of the buyers that were able to purchase for more, they're not able to do that. So because we have that decrease in spending abilities, we're also seeing a decrease in the sales prices of the houses because you can't, if you only have a little tiny buyer pool that can buy the house at that much, you're going to have to reduce the price in order to have a bigger buyer pool because then you'll have this and this. Make sense? Hopefully. All right. So that's continuing. So last week, let me think. Last week, if I remember the numbers, it was a whole 7 days ago, but if I remember right, we had 299 houses hit the market, and we had like 244. We'll have to go back and watch the video, but 244 price reductions, if I remember accurately. So this week, still holding nice. We're seeing a lot of those new residential listings hit the market. 291 new listings have hit the market. Price decreases 243. So it's actually about the same from last week. But what you have to understand is, yes, we had about the same numbers, but that was 240 some odd houses last week that reduced their price. A lot of those are the same houses this week, and they've reduced again, because we don't have that many houses on the market. And those brand new to the market houses, 291 that came out in the last 7 days, those are probably, most of them, not the ones that reduced. So we're doing multiple reductions in price to get these houses sold. Kind of interesting there. We did have some price increases. We actually had more price increases than we did this week than we did last week, which is kind of interesting, but not by a whole lot. We had 48 price increases this week. So, and you're going to see that because people don't really know the market. It might be off by a little bit, not really sure. So, maybe 50 or less houses having a price increase versus almost 250 price decreases, you can definitely see which way the market is swinging. And considering that it's been doing that consistently for about the last month and a half, you're seeing it shift from a hardcore seller's market to now more of a buyer's market. We're not fully into a buyer's market yet. We're just kind of stable right now. There's a lot more give and take in the recent weeks between the buyers and sellers. The sellers are kind of adjusting still. So some of the sellers are like, no, I want this, and I want this, and this, and this, and this. And the buyers are like, we'll give you another week to kind of contemplate that decision, and we'll be back. So yeah, kind of interesting. It is shifting. So it is not seller asks for whatever and they get everything and then some. It's more of a, let's negotiate these terms and make sure everybody wins, which is more of a stable market, really. It's not a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market right now. It's just kind of stabilizing. So negotiations is key. So make sure if you have a real estate agent, make sure that they know how to negotiate well. It's not all for me and none for you, or vice versa. It's we all are trying to get to the same goal. Let's discuss this as mature adults and see if we can all reach those same goals, because that's what we all want, right? So that's different tact entirely. All right, back on the market, 93. So about a third of the houses that of the amount of houses that hit the market or back on the market. So that's a little scary. That means that there's a lot of deals falling through. So again, having those sellers that maybe aren't quite with the new information, or maybe even the real estate agents aren't giving the right advice. I'm not really sure, but we need to get with the times. It is now a changing, so you need to adjust. So if there's a whole bunch of houses, if you do not adjust with the market, you get left behind. So if you're not reducing the price on your house and you still think it's the top of the market and you're not going to give any concessions and you're not going to do this and you're not going to do that, every every week that you delay, the market shifts more. So you're either not going to sell the house, and I'm sure there's a lot of people going, well, I'm just not going to sell right now. Great. But when you do want to sell in another 6 months, what's the market going to be then? You're going to get more for your house now if you negotiate than if you wait, and then it's, who knows? So I can't say that it's going to be a better market. We've had a hardcore seller's market for a long time, and it's slowly declining. If those interest rates continue to go up, you're going to slowly decline on your seller's pricing. So you're probably going to get the best right now. So maybe kind of negotiate and give a little, get a little, and again, everybody reaches their same goals. So again, 93 of those did not happen. Sold, we did have 225 that were sold. They actually closed. The buyers got the keys, the sellers got the money, and everybody walks away happy. We had 8 expireds this week. Kind of an odd time for expired listings, but that's fine. And then we had pending 260. So houses are still selling. They're just selling at maybe a little bit reduced price. So 260 houses went pending. 260 buyers submitted offers to sellers, and sellers accepted those terms. And they are now under contract, and the house is pending. Temporarily off the market, 13. So maybe they had to put some roofs on. I don't know. Withdrawn, 3. And canceled, 43. So we had quite a few that were like, you know what? I don't really need to sell. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm just going to go ahead and wait. So hopefully it works out for them. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So before I get into things that are coming up at Ocala, I just had to mention there was so on Yelp, there's like the 100 best restaurants in Florida. Okay. We're talking Miami, Orlando, Tampa, all over, Jacksonville, Tallahassee. I mean, these are some pretty big cities. Miami alone, Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton. I mean, there's some really amazing restaurants throughout the state of Florida, right? Ocala had one. We actually had number 33, and it's a restaurant I've never even heard of. I have never heard of this place. So spot number 33 is like Huron Foods. It's Haeorum. If you want to find this place, it's over at 3045 Southeast 3rd Avenue here in Ocala. I'm going this week. I am at some point this week going to go over there, and I want to try this place because apparently it is like one of the best restaurants in Florida, according to Yelp. And that I'll take that with a grain of salt. But apparently it's pretty good because they've had a lot of really great reviews. But it's a Korean and Asian fusion. And they have like Korean curry. They've got, I don't know, just a lot of different dishes. I was looking at their website and stuff. It looks interesting. I can't believe of all the really cool places, you know, mom and pop shops that you have in Ocala, this was the one that made the list. And I mean, we're not talking like down at like number 99. We're talking number 33. So I have to go over and try this place. I will let you know. I'll do a video for you guys. As much as I hate doing the restaurant videos because I love to eat. Oh, do I love to eat? I mean, hello. But eating while filming myself in a restaurant is bizarre. It is. I want you guys to see these restaurants. I want you guys to see the food. I want you all to have that experience. But eating on camera is weird. So I will do this for you guys. Plus, I'm going to have some really good food, apparently. So there's that. Okay, we're going to get into things to do with Ocala. I have written so many notes. So many notes. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, so we have the Caribbean Cruise at Downtown Market. It sounds like it's a cruise ship. It's not. That's not what it is. You're supposed to wear your favorite island attire, and they're gonna have live music from Jeff Brown, and that's this Wednesday, so day after tomorrow, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So it's just gonna be a really cool kind of Caribbean kind of, I don't know, party at the Downtown Market. It's kind of right down by the square, so should be really fun. So that is from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So oops, sorry. I kicked the stand. That's not good. It's not an earthquake. It's just klutz. It's okay. Then we have the Brazen Bash. And I actually want to take Lexi to this because it looked really cool. It's a youth rally from the Florida Department of Health. And they are going on Thursday at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., which is kind of an odd time frame to do it, but that's okay. They're having a free event, and it's for kids from ages 11 to 18. So it's primarily preteens and teenagers. And it's over at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion, but they're going to have rock wall climbing. They're going to have a bungee run. I don't know what that is, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. They have obstacle courses. They're going to have pizza and snow cones. But for more information on it, they're over at brazenbash.org. I thought it looked like fun. So I'm going to, hopefully that's a really hard age. I'm going to tell my 14-year-old, like, we're going to go and do this. And she'll be like, what if people see me? So sometimes she's just like gung-ho and like wearing a chicken costume. And other times she's like, oh no, I cannot be seen by the public. It just depends on the mood and the hormone level. I don't know. Hopefully she doesn't see this later. All right, but we're going to go over and do that. So what else is going on? The Marion Oaks Community Center car show. That's the first Friday of every month. That's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So if you're in the area, stop out and check that out. It's something fun to do. And did you know that there are, and I did not know this, there are summer break spots all over Marion County. And it's basically one or more of the public libraries, depending on which day of the week it is, have something fun planned for families, especially with kids. And we're not talking like little kids, we're talking like all the way up to 18. But they actually have these really amazing events, and they also provide meals. So if you are struggling a little bit, or even if you're not and you're just like, let's go do this and then I don't have to stress, that's cool too. But you will actually, you can take the kids down there, they can eat, and they actually get to do some really cool events and programs. If you want to find out more about that, like which libraries on what days and what times and all of that stuff, you can go to library.marionfl.org, and then you just click on programs. And I was shocked by how many programs they have at all the different libraries, all the different things. I mean, stuff for adults, stuff for kids. It was really cool. So I strongly encourage you to go check that out. And again, it's another resource. So just want to provide that. Speaking of resources, the Levitt Amp concert this Friday. It's the last one. If you have not made it, this is the last opportunity to do that. So get on out there. It's the Levitt Amp Ocala Music Series, and it's just free concert series that they do to bring that live music to residents of Ocala. So please get out there. You absolutely have to go. It's an amazing series, absolutely amazing. So they have some fun stuff to do and some vendors and stuff. Ocala Parks and Recreation is there, and they've got some food trucks and stuff as well. But it's just a really cool time. You can sit out in the grass, you listen to some great music, bring a blanket or a chair or whatever, and just chill out and just enjoy. If you feel like doing some dancing, you can do some dancing. It's whatever you want to do. It's great. Highly recommended. The Lodge over on the square, it has Bonkers Comedy Club, and Tony Black is going to be performing. So get your tickets. That's at bonkerscomedy.com. Bonkers is with a Z, of course. bonkerscomedy.com, and you can get tickets, and definitely get the tickets because they sell out. It's not like you can buy them at the door. They're done at that point. So Friday and Saturday, and then the doors open at 6:30, again, for ticket holders. So make sure that you get those. What else? Let's see, Suntran, that's our local public buses. They've been trying to work on a development plan as to like what routes they're going to do and kind of increase the routes and make sure that public transportation is available to more residents. So they're going to be discussing some of the improvements that they've got planned for the public transportation here in Ocala. I'm actually kind of interested to do that, to go to it. That is on 6 p.m. on Wednesday, June 29th, over at the MLK Community Building. So they're just going to be talking about different improvements. And you can actually, they have a Zoom thing where you can actually, watch what they were talking about after the fact if you want to do that. So that might be an option for you as well. Okay. This weekend, there's so much. Of course, it's 4th of July weekend. I mean, of course, there's so much. Let's see. They've got an Uncle Sam bike jam, and that's over at the Santos Trailhead. They're going to have like a BMX jump contest. They're going to have a bazillion raffle prizes. In fact, every hour they're raffling off prizes. So just enjoy. They're going to have group rides that are going to be touring the Santos trails. It should be an amazing experience. That's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. On Sunday, July 3rd, the city of Inverness, so not quite in Marion County, but, gotta share. They have a free event at the Liberty Park. Eddie Montgomery from Montgomery Gentry, he is going to be doing a concert there. They've got fireworks at 9:15. So if you were looking for a place to go and see fireworks, you can go down there. No coolers are allowed because they're going to have food trucks and stuff, but you can definitely bring chairs or blankets or whatever to just really enjoy the whole thing, especially the fireworks, of course. Let's see. First Saturday of every month, which is this Saturday as well, of course, you can go to Brown's Country and Market in like the Brown's Farm. Y'all all know where it is if you're local. But they have this event called Junk in the Trunk where all of these like cars just come in, open up their trunk, set some stuff out. It's basically like a yard sale, but you don't want to have to do it in your yard. So you just fill up your car, take it down there, open the trunk, and there you go. So it's kind of cool, right? But if you want to go and do that, it's 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And it's, again, the first Saturday of the month. So it should be cool. Now, this is the first time they're having this event, but I thought it was pretty cool. Over at the Florida Horse Park, mind you, they're doing a lot of polo this week. But, yeah, anyway, over at the Florida Horse Park, they're having a horsemanship clinic. So you can actually do, it's $100, which quite frankly, I didn't think was that bad. But it's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And lunch is provided, so that's cool. And the lead instructor is Eddie Leedy, which I don't know if you know him or not, or know of him. I know of him. I think I might have met him at a chamber event. I don't know. Anyway, but he was with the Marion County Sheriff's Office for like over 30 years. And then he was on the mounted unit. In fact, he's still a commander of the mounted unit for the sheriff's office, but you know, because he's retired now, he's doing it as a volunteer position. But anyway, so he is actually now the executive director of the Marion County Humane Society. So they actually are going to also have animals there that are up for adoption. I think he's had a lot of programs and a lot of stuff that he's been doing with that. I mean, you can tell he has a serious love for animals. But yeah, he was part of the mounted unit with the Marion County Sheriff's Office, and he basically still is the commander for that unit, even as a volunteer capacity. That's actually pretty cool. So, but he's like the main instructor for this event. So I don't know. I just thought it would be really cool if you are into horses and you want to have a horsemanship clinic. There's probably a lot of people that have been asking him for this. Over the years, and he's probably just, you know, like, okay, here's where we're going to do it. So you can be a part of that. $100 and lunch is included. I mean, seriously, that's awesome. But they're really going to go over some of the horsemanship things that, you know, basically how you can be a better rider. They're going to be doing some obstacle course, just all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, that will be at the Florida Horse Park. And I did not put what the contact information is, but if you go to Things to Do Ocala on Facebook, so just go to Facebook, go to Things to Do Ocala, it's in there. And if you get on with her newsletter, absolutely amazing information is emailed out to you. So definitely get on that, and you can just kind of pick out and choose what you want to do and see and go and all sorts of stuff. All right, so over on, I think this is Saturday, actually. Yeah, it is Saturday. Okay, so the city of Williston is having an Independence Day celebration, and they're starting with a parade at 5 p.m. Then everybody's going to go over down to the Horseman's Park, and the fireworks are going to start at dark over there, but they're going to have a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So if you wanted to go into Williston and see the fireworks over there, go for it. As far as I know, like the city of Ocala or the county we don't have any kind of fireworks display that I know of. And there used to be one done by the JCs, but that's really close to the World Equestrian Center. And for some reason, horses and fireworks don't really blend very well. So that's not even going on anymore. But you will probably see like smaller displays from like different charitable organizations and stuff going on. I have to say, from living here, it's basically a crazy fire. Like every neighborhood has fireworks going off until at least midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So just a heads up, it's that kind of place. It's everywhere. I mean, we're not talking like little, poppets or something. No, we're talking like big, huge, yeah, every neighborhood. It's insane. So just be safe, okay? Just be safe, because yeah, that's bad things happen. Just be very careful, especially with the kids and stuff. Just take your time and be careful if you're gonna be messing with fireworks. All right. Splash pads throughout the county are open and ready to go. So definitely go out and use those. Splash pads are free. It's open to the public. So if you just want a really quick, fun time for your kids to go cool off, great. They are going to be soaked though. So heads up on that. I mean, they have so much fun. They really do. So just go take them to the splash pad. They'll have a great time. Community pools are also open. They're only $2 per child to go over to a community pool. It's $3.50 per adult. So, I mean, it's like nothing. Now, this is per session, and sessions are 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., or you can go to the afternoon session, which is 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. You go there. It's Tuesday through Saturday. There's the Hampton Aquatic Center, and then there's also the Derby Gant Aquatic Center. And it's just a blast. They have, slides and, well, one big slide on each one. And then they also have like a zero entry portion that has like, basically like a splash pad stuff, like all stuff, for like little kids and stuff. They have a great time. But yeah, definitely take them down to the pool. It's a few dollars and they're golden. There's a small concession stand in case you forgot to bring them anything to eat or drink and they want a snack or whatever. It seems like when you go swimming with kids, the second they get out of the pool, they are starving. So, take them over to the concession stand, grab them something to eat there if you want. It's a really inexpensive, fun way to have some fun in the sun in Florida here. There's also a pool that you will want to look at online. That's on the Fast. This is not a community pool. This is actually a really high-end, brand new aquatic and swim and training center. But it does have a splash pad outside, and it's got an indoor pool and an outdoor pool, and there's open swim times and there's lap swim times, and it's really reasonable. I think it's like $8 for the day if you wanted to go over there. So that might be a great option for you too, because it's really not that much difference since you got the whole day. So anyway, check that out. That's, I believe it's Fast Ocala. Look at me. See, I wrote all that stuff down and then I forgot to write down. Okay, yeah. FloridaFast.com. I was so close. All right, FloridaFast.com, and you can find out more information or how to contact them for your questions. But they have a really great website. A lot of their programs and their schedules and stuff is all on there. So help yourself. All right. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know in the comments below, or go ahead and send us an email, which is at ger.expectmore@gmail.com. You can also go ahead and contact us here at the office, which is 352-817-9160. And we are actually going to be putting up a video pretty soon to celebrate 3,000 subscribers. I've been thinking about doing it for a while, but I decided to go ahead and try my hand at flying a plane, which you can very, very easily and inexpensively try out here in Ocala. So there is a video that we are working on of how to do that, how much it costs, what it actually takes to become a pilot. And it's a really cool video. So we are releasing that to celebrate 3,000 subscribers. So please hurry up and subscribe. As soon as we have 3,000 subscribers, I'm hoping the timing works out perfectly, that we'll be done with the editing, because it was a lot of footage. But yeah, I decided to go fly a plane. It was pretty cool. Honestly, it was a really, really cool experience. My daughter went with me and was like, hey, get in the back seat. I'm going to go fly a plane. She's like, all right, sounds about right. Thankfully, my kids are so used to that kind of stuff. Can you imagine living with me? Yeah. So they're just so used to that kind of stuff that she didn't even she's like, where's the seatbelt? So crazy. So it was a lot of fun. I had the absolute best flight instructor. So I'm going to share all of that with you as soon as we hit the 3,000. So if you have a friend or family member or anybody that would be interested in what we provide here on our website or on our YouTube channel, wow, each week, please definitely share with them so that they can subscribe so that we can get up to those 3,000 so you guys can join in the fun and mayhem of me driving, well, flying a plane. You guys have a great week and I will see you later. Bye.